What are you willing to pay for a lifetime of success? What if I told you that even just 5 sessions of a therapy or coaching or consulting session is enough to move the boat over just a tiny bit? This is your predictable trajectory. And this is you after having just a couple sessions, just a tiny bit over this way. Maybe about 3 months worth of sessions over here, 6 months, maybe even a year. You get to the point where you don't even recognize the person you become. And you did not know that it was possible for you to become this person. But here you are, a whole different person with a whole different set of standards that you and those around you never thought were possible. What might happen is you may outgrow those around you, and that's perfectly fine. That does happen in most cases. This is why a lot of us are afraid to create such extraordinary lives, because we are afraid that we're going to leave some people behind. You don't necessarily have to leave them behind, but you do have to let them go. How many times have you, or I'm speaking to mostly older people over 40, 45. So I'm going to rephrase that question. Do you recall the first time you left to either college, or you got married, or you just moved out of your parents' house? Or even you left the town or city that you were from, only to come back 6 months, a year later, and already everything seems different. Everything seems to be very ordinary, elementary, just different. And maybe you recall where this was a big deal for you at one point. Maybe the hill that you used to slide down on when you were a little kid, and you would, I don't even know what they're called, but those sleds. When you were a kid, you used to think that was such a steep hill. But then you go back a year later and you think, I, for some reason, thought this was a much bigger hill. The friends that you have and you go back to, they seem different. They treat you differently. Everything's different. This is a sign that you are allowing yourself to expand, take up more space. And that's all okay. Allow yourself to move forward, take up more space, allow your greatest self to come out and to express themselves. It's only this way is how you will become the extraordinary person that you want to be. Most of you settle. Most of you allow your environment to dictate how you should be and what you should be. That's probably the worst thing that we could do. I've been there. I get it. I'm not judging any of you. It's when you don't realize, okay, I'm going to start over. It's if you don't know you're in prison, you don't know how to get out of it. So you first have to realize that you've been in prison this whole time so you can get out of it. I know that's a little bit of a dramatic metaphor, but I couldn't think of anything else. Again, allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to take up space. Allow the person who's inside of you, who wants to express themselves, to express themselves. Look forward, keep an eye on the prize. Keep an eye on your prize. As this is your mission. This is what you're called to do. It's not a foolish endeavor. That's the biggest lie that you've probably been told. This is your life. You get to live it exactly the way you want. When you are at the 11th hour, surrounded by your loved ones, and you're getting ready to take your last breath, you want to make sure that you say to yourself, I live my life exactly the way I wanted to live it. No regrets. That's the goal. Anyway, my name is Uriel Mesa, and I'm with KTSLiveCoaching.com. And as always, it is a pleasure speaking with you.